Alright, so this is a build-around submission for Zoe plus Lux. A lot of the Zoe decks that we have played so far on stream are more all-in aggressive decks, and Zoe is good outside of just things looking to run you down with elusive threats, because this super cool star chart invokes you celestial cards, and then her leveled mode eventually gets you Behold the Infinites that just invoke in general. So Zoe's also just a good source of card advantage on a cheap body. So this is a mid-range control deck that's looking to leverage Zoe as a tool to go long with, as opposed to using her as a cheap threat to beat people down with. Our second champion here is Lux. Staple Demacia champion that's good in mid-range and control decks. She levels when she sees you cast 6+ mana worth of spells, so she encourages your deck to be spell heavy, and then she generates this final spark for us that helps us control the board and also deal extra damage to our opponent's nexus to kind of close games out. Now, Lux wants spells, but I think one of the best tools in this in Demacia for mid-range and control right now is the Grand Plaza for helping you control the board. So something I'm doing with this deck is, in addition to the normal Lux staple Remembrance being a spell that also generates a unit, so this works well with Grand Plaza, we're also playing 3 copies of Succession here, which normally getting a 3/3 for 3 is not great, but this is a unit for Plaza and it's a spell for Lux. And something that works very well with this is that if you bank spell mana on turns 1 and 2, you can play Grand Plaza on 3 if you're attacking on odds, and then Succession immediately and attack and hit something off their board. So the synergy that this card has with 2 different cards in our deck is really great. This deck, because we're a Targon Demacia deck, also gets to play Divergent Paths, which gives us access to our plazas more often and can interact with our opponent's key landmarks in Plaza Mirrors or against Scargrounds or other things that we're going to be playing. The rest of the deck is just kind of generically good cards, things like Star Shaping, Radiant Guardian, Priestess, Shield Bearer, just to stay alive. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games here with this one and see how it goes. Rabner, thank you for the 42 months of Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Lux is also very reasonable with Grand Plaza herself, because her barrier means that she can come down, get that trigger from Plaza, and kill something, which is great. Does proc Radiant Guardian work how I want with Zoe? It does, yeah. Things like Radiant Guardian and Diana both work with her. Okay, so Draven Riven is something people have been trying. This is a deck that concedes to Zoe. Gosh, imagine conceding to Zoe with your deck full of Doomblades. People concede to Zoe decks a lot. People concede to Zoe decks a lot. Alright, Targon Shyvana here. I'm mulligan these two. I think I'm gonna keep I'm gonna mulligan the Succession too. I'm gonna look for my Plaza. Yeah, mulliganing towards Zoe on 1 is also good. Yeah, I agree. I like keeping Goat Tip a guaranteed turn 2 play, though. Meh.
Another day guarding the walls.
No dragons in sight for our opponent.
Here they come.
Is getting another gem worth a sharp sight? It might be.
Hearken with their approach.
Ours is the one true light.
Definitely taking Meteor Shower here. Means if they play Shyvana here, we can kill Shyvana and this. Morning, Wargus.
Devotion through battle.
Runeterra has been out a while. Do you think opinions on token spells have changed? Oh, you mean cards like the making like Succession? I think my opinion on them has always been pretty reasonable. I'm gonna go ahead and kill both of these here. Radiant Guardian looking super awkward here. Think I'm just playing Lux. Well, now we can gem plus this to level Lux, which is kind of sweet. What if I open on attacks here? And then I could do this to beat this plus this to level her? I'm kind of into that.
The guilty were banned.
I thought Zoe would be playable during spoiler season. She's much better than I thought she was going to be. So something that's kind of awkward with Living Legends is that it never makes you a final spark, even though it costs 10, because it fills your hand and then you don't have room to make a final spark.
I've been hiding my light too long.
These are both just gonna trade. I think that's fine. I mean, like, look here, right? Like, they've got 2 cards and I've got a full grip here.
Clad in shining sunlight.
11 total mana. Honestly, I think it's just Remembrance into... I guess this threatens to block this so they can't attack me. Do I ever care what this is? Hey, I could just be these 2 to use all my mana this turn. Yeah, saving spell mana keeps me draw Lux seems fine. Yeah, I agree with that assessment. Zoe's just good. Not every good card deserves a nerf. It's funny, card game players are a lot like, they remind me a lot of like Legacy and Modern players press a pick, where every time there's a new playable card in this game, the question is like, is this going to be nerfed? Like, It's so, like, it's like every time a new card is Legacy or Modern playable, people would be like, well, this card's too good, it needs to be banned. It's like, well, Runeterra has, like, Runeterra has done just such a good job of stretching, like, how many different things are playable. I think all three of the champions in this latest release are reasonable as is. Mulligan everything but Zoe here. Look how sparkly! Alright, if we can dodge Vile Feast, we can dodge a ball. Nailed it. Alright, that means no avalanche this turn. Falling Comet is great here. I think we just super cool star chart open attacks here. It could be right to take Crescent Strike here, honestly. Star chart grabbing Spell Shield, maybe. I think I'm just playing Trickster here, and then next turn we Comet here.
I'll knock 'em dead.
So now the question is, do I want to draw another star chart this turn? I think I do.
Riddle me something cool. Ship time.
Ice to me. A little snowball.
Well, we're not getting Feel the Rush this turn, which is nice. We are, however, gonna get Ice Pillared.
One troll to rule 'em all.
I guess I get this with the hope that they're gonna attack into here and then we finish it with this.
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the rules. I can't even.
Yeah, they went solidly over the top of us there. That's about how I would expect that matchup to play out. I think that's probably pretty close to unwinnable for what we're doing. Why does go hard hit face? It goes against the Regent's rules. That's not strictly true. What's it called? Doom Beast hits face. Garen, Aurelian, Saul. Mulligan the Sergeant, keep the rest of these, I think. Reborn NA, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, there's plenty of SI things that go to face.
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
So I've got divergent paths to kill their plaza. I've got a plaza of my own. ARZ, thanks for the follow. Welcome. I don't think this deck usually plays Sharp Sight. I think they've mostly been playing Pale Cascade.
I suppose.
I suppose.
Portal me something cool!
Should I attack at the same time I play Divergent Paths? No, because there were chances there were things they could have played out there, Jota, that I would want to play Shield Bearer and hook in. It's also possible I should have led on this. Guiding Touch and see what we hit.
How's it going?
Let's do this, because it should keep Beamer at home here.
Break their ranks!
Clad in shining sunlight. Burn away doubt.
We can technically kill Zoe with Judgment here.
Slow down, will ya?
Get in the portal!
Is this deck that the opponent's playing, is it usually playing Divergent Paths or no? Is it not?
Here we go.
You cannot sway me. I fight for the fallen.
The tempo loss is big. I mean, the tempo gain of being able to kill your opponent's plaza is pretty good. We're worried about sharp sight here.
I will hold the line.
Sure.
I will not falter. Stay resolute.
So, a little bit too late there.
Paradigm shift time!
Do what is right.
Hold back the darkness.
Universe demands change. I'm doing
Yeah, I didn't put them on having single combat dark because they didn't play it on Zoe the previous turn. I also, like, don't think that exchange is terrible for us, all things considered.
Justice will prevail.
I think I just go to 20 here, right? I mean, if they Pale Cascaded, we have Spell Thief. So it's, like, not a big deal. Hey, is that good with the Zoe emblem? What do we think? Let me know in chat. That's pretty good. Crotado Blood, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Oh, right, we're a Lux deck. Wait, does this work how I want it to work? I don't get the barrier from Lux? This doesn't say no barrier. It does, right? It should give me a barrier. The ones that don't give barrier say they don't give barrier. That's really bad wording on this part if this doesn't give a barrier. This should definitely give me a barrier. They need to fix that.
I forgot how slow time moves.
Yeah, I like Danger Noodle too. I think we still are just playing Lux here. Yeah, this should definitely give barrier to everything, or this wording needs to be updated. And that's like, those little types of things Runeterra tends to be kind of inconsistent with. Not even kinda, just very inconsistent with. Where like, there's like this wording, like in some places they explicitly say doesn't include barrier, other places they don't. So, like, it's fine if you don't want this to include barrier, but then it needs to say it like everywhere else.
Time to get rowdy.
I mean, that's not even really learning. That's just bad wording on Riot's part.
Lights out.
So this is 10. I can attack for 14 this turn. It could also be Beyond into Snake, so I can give the Beyond Challenger. Oh, it's 16 with Plaza. That's true. No, I think you're right. We just hit them with a bunch of elusive this turn. Oh, I have Plaza. I don't need to give a Challenger. Yeah, you're right. Bendar! Thank you for the 2/3 V. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Do I even want to challenge anything on their board, though? I kind of just want to, like, smack them for 17, right? Actually, is it crazy? Is it crazy to just take the pass here? Like, I think I take the pass, right? Like, we're gonna win this game going long, I think. I think that pass is good for us.
Mighty Dragon, the Celestial sends you an urgent message.
I just...
The sun is shining. We should too.
Yeah, this can draw single combat. And then, is it greedy to single with Lux? Is it too greedy to single with Lux? She's got a barrier. Even if they hush her, these still trade. This is fine. This is fine.
My, how they stare.
Can I just go for lethal? I think I just go for lethal, right?
Soldiers, to me.
These are all spell shield and elusive.
The strength of the sun and my face are one.
Stand strong. For king and country.
Zoe makes the rules is chat. This build seems sweet.
That was super fun, and I gotta say,
Oh, Zoe. Segment, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Good morning. Yeah, they would need like double hush there. Yeah, I think the turn we passed when we didn't have a lethal attack was pretty key there. Kalista. So I think we actually want to keep Solari Priestess in the opener here because this is likely a Vehu Endure deck. So being able to invoke a Meteor is going to have high value here. Pew, 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 pew. Alright, with that play, I think we need to Shield Bearer here.
My face.
It's like, here's my brick wall, thud.
You cannot sway me.
Yeah, opponent start is good, but we're in a fine spot here, right? Actually, we're gonna get to see Succession with Grand Plaza come up here, right? So I get to drop this, and then I get to do this and kill something. That synergy that we had talked about. There's that comet that we talked about grabbing, so we can have an answer rolled up to the first Thehu Endure. So, like, they can push 3 points of damage here to trade off boards, and then I get to drop Lux and eat this next turn.
What does he want from me?
Come on. Okay, they get to push 6 here, so they're definitely attacking.
Oh, heretic. Back heretic.
Yes, Plaza is also good with Lux. You are not wrong. Yeah, Abomination being nerfed to a 4-3 is a big deal. It's definitely a net positive change to the game.
the sun is shining.
We should too.
Lady Elise, where are you?
Where are you?
A beacon in battle.
Yeah, I think Endure is one of the best decks that people just don't play consistently. So, how do we feel about Gem Lux, Star Shaping Level Lux, Blast this? Huh. I think it's Cosmic Inspiration, right? That's just a proactive way to generate another Final Spark? Or do I do this to insulate against more? It's one of these two. And I have plenty of other Celestials. I kind of think I'm in for Cosmic Inspiration. I go either way on that. It might be right to take the 9-minute spell there.
Pushing my limits.
we're playing Spell Thief, Mafia.
Shine with me.
Alright, there are copies of Spell Thief in my deck. And Shield Bearer is very important so you don't die to aggro.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Oh, I might not have updated the Mobalytics page. That's on me. Yeah, our deck is very good at not running out of cards.
A beacon through the dark. A beacon in battle.
Just leave me alone!
Leave me alone. Nah, they're not gonna concede. They could peel another they who endure. It's gonna be important that we leave mana up for this if they have endure mana available. What Victor deck have I liked best so far? Victor Ribbon was a highlight I posted, Hamblin. I have highlights posted with every one of the new champions at this point. Did I not have a way to heal Lux? I might not have had a way to heal Lux. Maybe, you might be right.
By the light.
Oh, we had a sharp sight. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so if I play this and then next turn we do this into the +3/+3, we get to kill them, right? Because that'll also generate us a final spark.
There's only one true light.
Coffees for closers, chat.
Soldiers, to me.
The light of my star warms the heavens.
So I had two Vanguard Sergeants in the original build of this, and I ended up cutting one of them, but gosh, has the one Vanguard Sergeant been really good so far. I kind of want to fit a second back in here. Nah, I like the Divergent Paths. So we're not playing Paths because we want to draw. Well, it can draw Grand Plus. We're playing Path because killing opposing Grand. Yes, Goat is great. Don't touch my Goat. I could go down Guiding Touch. I don't know that we need Guiding Touch with Star Shaping. Succession has been good too. What's the purpose of Zoe in this deck? Instead of me telling you you're wrong, can you tell me why you're right? What are you putting in place of Zoe that works better than her? Yeah, we might not even need this card in general. Honestly, something that's been good, the Goat generating gems is sweet with Star Shaping, and Spell Thief is sweet with Star Shaping too because those add up to 6. Yeah, it could just be right to go up to three Spell Thieves. I can see that. I mean, so here's the thing about Oriensol versus Zoe. I want you to think about the games that we're playing And think about how many cards are in my hand in these games that I'm playing with this deck. Oriental is another way to keep your hand full of stuff, and my deck is not currently having a problem keeping its hand full of stuff as is. Like, so I don't think Asol really fixes any problems that this deck is having. Radiant Guardian's been really good so far, chat. So like, people saying we should replace Radiant Guardian with other things, like, Radiant Guardian's biggest drawback in a deck like this is largely mitigated by the fact that we get to play Plaza. So like, this card is normally very telegraphed and good players can play around it. Zoe's much better than Teemo. Teemo is good in a very narrow, specific subset of decks. Zoe goes in everything. Zoe's good in control, she's good in mid-range, she's good in aggro. I'm also incredibly biased, though, because she's definitely my favorite champion in the game now. She's real sweet. In fact, I've got that YouTube command listed in the stream title there. On my highlights channel, I posted a video with my favorite Zoe deck in the game so far today. Although this one's quickly growing on me. This is very different than the Zoe Fizz deck though. Like, this is a control deck, whereas the Zoe Fizz deck is a aggro deck. Technically doesn't go in decks that don't run Target, but what if instead your deck that didn't run Target started running Target? What if you did that? Okay, so this is a sequencing mistake on my part here. I should have waited until after they attacked to play this goat, because when they play Butcher, I could have played Shield Bearer. That's true. I think Zoe Teemo is very reasonable as well. Zoe Teemo is one of the dozen Teemo Zoe decks I've been playing. There's a lot of good Zoe decks, champ. All right, and then here's a question. So my opponent looks to be playing something aggressive. You want to try and get Snake? That's a good thought. Okay, yeah, let's look for Danger Noodle. Nailed it.
Portal me something cool. I call this constellation the Jump Rope.
All right, so Zoe's about to get murdered. Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Alter Ego. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Was there any doubt that we would get the snake there? To be fair, it's skewed towards cheaper ones, so you're pretty likely to get the snake or Moon Sliver. Yes, the 4-1 Overwhelm is also decent there. Big agree.
How can someone be so boring?
It's a shame we don't have one more mana this turn to be able to play Radiant Guardian after they murder her. Oh, we could try and hit the silence. This is worse than the silence, but it'll keep her alive at least.
Let's do it over there.
Decent pickup for later. time, ship time. We're just playing out Vanguard Sergeant this turn. And then next turn, they'll get to murder her, but we'll get to drop Radiant Guardian, which makes us difficult to race. So here's a question. Is it how many days in a row is too many days in a row to post highlight videos of Zoe decks? I need feedback from people at home. And not the same Zoe deck, but all different Zoe decks. We'll just do all the different ones. Just become a Zoe one trick. Man, we really need to draw a Divergent Pass here, huh? I mean, to be fair, I think we're a little bit behind at the moment. Anxiously awaiting Zoe Darius. Man, we're actually really bad at finding, I think I just want the free one. We're really bad at finding this. Yeah, we really needed a silence there. That's three hits without a perma silence. Time for Radiant Guardian to punch the clock and go to work here.
Justice will be served.
Oh, that's wrong. I should Zoe first, right? So we can work on leveling her. It's not a mistake on my part.
Trickster never loses because Zoe makes the rules.
Zoe makes the rules. Okay. So I think I want to open on this. Yeah, maybe I'm opening on attacks, actually. I'm gonna open on attacks.
Scoured from this land.
That's true. I could do this inside of combat.
Well, it was fresh.
I suppose they could theoretically have a way to rally here, right? And then I should do this inside of combat. Yeah, it's better to attack with both of these and do this inside of combat for sure. Do. I think we're just digging for perma-silence again on the start chart.
Are they still here?
With this in hand and Danger Noodle, it could be right just go super wide next turn too. Okay. Alright, chat, how lucky are we? Can we roll another Radiant? Never lucky. I mean, they're all good hits. Well, I could play the Challenger to block, maybe. That would have been a good play with the Radiant drawn, huh? They might be dead next turn, yeah. We get to play 3 things to the board here.
My faith protects me.
You could be so much more.
Man, that's good. You think we want to dig for Crescent? Actually, is that even that good? It doesn't kill either of my things, right? Nah, I want the snake to try and kill them with next turn. They have second Ruination here, we're dead, but if they don't have second Ruination, we're in a pretty good spot. Gem open attacks. That's a thought. Gem open attacks loses to, like, a Vengeance, though. Gem soft pass? No, I'm definitely not gem soft passing. Okay, so this means if they have another blocker here, they're alive. That's true. We do have Danger Noodle to dig for a thing. That's definitely the play. But they're not dead heads up on board if they have another blocker. Yep. I think the Messenger is better than the Silence at this point. Is that crazy? Yeah, I think Equinox is too late. Because this gets us a card too. So they're opening attacks to make us have heals here, right? And then we get to go Star Shaping plus Radiant. Well, I guess we technically don't have to have heals because we could go, we could block here.
You cannot sway me.
Alright, who's got 2 thumbs and is dead to Atrocity? This guy.
Virtue guides me. We strike now.
Close game. And like, so like, a game like this is like, my opponent had, so like, and then someone asked earlier, how do you validate, like, do you mathematically, how do you mathematically show when you got unlucky versus your deck not being good enough? And to think about some of the specifics that happened in that game, I think there's 2 specifics I'd like to highlight. The first is that my opponent had 3 Undying and Plaza very early. And then on top of them having the cards that are ideal for their deck early, we also didn't draw Divergent Paths early, and we had multiple super cool star charts that failed to find our silence, right? Hey, good game, Kubas. That was a really quality back and forth. So, like, I know we lost that game, but I feel like the way specific breaks in it happened is probably a little bit below average for us, both how many silences we were able to find and how many Undying they were able to get set up early. And yeah, and we almost had it if it hadn't been for the Siphon Stole being able to peel us for exactly. Draven Teemo. I'm mulligan the Spell Thief. The rest of these seem great, fine though, honestly. Shield Bearer being a 2-drop, this being a 3, some healing rolled up. This is probably a burn deck. Alright, our deck is confident we want Spell Thief. They probably have Mystic Shots or something we can take, so it's probably fine. Yes, one of their 3 Undyings came from a Stalking Shadows.
Humanity is obsolete.
I think I want to do this here. It could be right to just pass here and then Remembrance next turn. I can do this next turn though if they play like a Draven out. I don't know. In this deck, there's upside to waiting to Remembrance until we can possibly generate Radiant Guardian, and there's upside to waiting to Remembrance until, we can have a Lux in play. And like with this sequence lining up well, I think it's fine to wait on the Remembrance.
System upgrade. Fire till nothing moves.
And like here, I'm gonna go ahead and open attacks, and if they elect to... Man, that means I probably don't want to open attacks, huh? Alright, we'll play Zoe out.
What it doesn't understand, silly! Hut, 2, 3, 4. Surprise?
I think we do this and then we do this, right? So I could save my things here, but I think it's better to just Remembrance.
System upgrade.
Sad control player. Don't be sad, you get to play Zoe now. Thank you for the 2.5 years. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning.
Can you improve perfection? System upgrade. Soldiers, me. Safety disengaged.
Go to 16.
Fact, I am superior life form.
I agree, Press Pick. I agree. I think this one's gonna be my highlight for tomorrow, and I'm gonna put it up on the website.
Fire till nothing moves.
Feels very cohesive.
Improve perfection.
We can do this.
We can do this.
Coming in hot!
Do I attack with Lux, exposing her to Mystic Shot plus trade here? I think the answer is no, right? I think we just pass. No faith in the monkey deck. The monkey deck might be sweet, but for the next week at least, I want to focus on... We could sharp sight if to do that, that's true.
Illuminate the enemy.
That's true. Alright, I've been talked into it. Perfect.
Prime and ready.
Sorry, my highlight videos for the next week at least, I'm gonna try and make sure they include Victor, Riven, or Zoe almost every day for a little bit, while people are most excited about the new cards.
Perfection.
This sharp sight blocking these should be real good.
System upgrade.
We can spell Thief. They played a Mystic Shot earlier, so...
Meet them head on. Face me.
Hold back the darkness!
Never back down from what you believe.
That's not true. I highlighted Victor Riven yesterday. Thank you very much.
Access lives on.
Alright, so the plan next turn is to...
Boarding in.
A Zoe Lee Sin. I mean, I'll play Lee Sin. I just don't like playing against Lee Sin. So this is a concession star shaping then, right? 100%?
Better, brighter than before.
Can you explain why you like it so much? Because cheap, evasive threats are my kink. I really like cards that are cheap and evasive. She's elusive and she draws cards, yeah. She also fits into just an incredible range of shells. Like, check out the Zoe highlight from today on my highlights channel. It shows how she's really fantastic in low to the ground aggressive decks. And then take a look at how this deck is playing out and how it's just drastically different. Her level up is also incredible, yeah. And creates really sweet board states. Her animations are also lovely. You are not wrong. Yeah, this game's over. We're at 15.
No more holding back! Signing off.
I could probably pick one of these at random and we'll win the game, so... Alright, chat. Number one sign the burn deck has lost the game. They used their DL3 to kill your unit. That was a concession. Living Legends actually never gives you a final spark because Living Legends fills your hand and then the final spark can't get generated. That's unfortunately how that interaction works. Okay, I mean, we're attacking on odds, and we have Succession Plaza lined up, so I think I'm gonna mulligan this, keep the Guardian against what's likely an aggressive deck. This is our first time getting to go Plaza Succession on 3. We did it on 4 earlier, we went Plaza Succession the same turn, but...
There's a chill in the air.
I think it's important that I kill Lucian on 3 in this matchup, Precipic. Otherwise, that might be an okay choice.
I've always got your back.
Don't worry about me.
We still can. Yeah, that's true. We can float on 4. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
No. Lucian. Lucian!
And Zoe actually fills that curve really nicely, right? Like I get to play Zoe, bank mana, and then go this into this. I think I'm chumping to gain 10 here, right?
Making the dead deader.
Reality is just your mind crumbling under what it doesn't understand, silly!
My gun does the talking.
I will hold the line.
Thanks, Blank Man. It's really, and this is one of the reasons why I've often said one of the only bad things about Runeterra is the size of its card pool. And like, as they flesh out the card pool, seeing cards like Succession get synergies with new cards like this to let them be playable is really awesome.
Alright, let's mess some folks up.
You could just submit it as a build around if you want, gamer, and I'll do the cuts for you. Yeah, I saw a Double Trouble Seeing play. It's really sweet.
Justice will be served.
Everywhere I go, the light follows.
If they have something like Vengeance to kill Radiant Guardian here, they could maybe be okay. Yeah, I'm super. The next set release in January or February, giving us a new region. Sounds super great.
Are they still here? This is my choice.
The fact that this lets you use Shield Bearer on offense is so good. And then Zoe's star charts helping you level Lux is also excellent. Yeah, I agree that we should star chart.
What's in here?
Shadow approaches.
Burn the waves out!
I mean, they could have a Harrowing, but, like, their board's pretty packed tight already. This is gonna be super duper lethal next turn, right?
Doggo,
Doggo.
No place for the kind. Stay back!
Discipline and steel.
Okay, so we go Sharp Sight, level Lux, level Zoe. 4 Demacia, generate second Final Spark, come in blasted. Yeah, this is probably the high note to end on. I suppose they could have Ruination here. If they go Ruination into Harrowing, we could lose. I don't think Hecarim decks usually Ruination, but, you know, I've seen stranger things. We Harrowing them back with Spell Thief. You're totally right, we could. You're totally right, we could. This deck is Gasoline. That's fantastic.
by the light!
So anyways, I started blasted. Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah, block the Sun of the Ephemerals better there. Block the Sun of the Ephemerals better. I don't know, champ fam. That last game was sick. We had a bunch of sick games. We even had sick games that we ended up losing. This is the thing that makes me a little bit sad about all these awesome Zoe decks that we've been playing is that the way I can never submit a triple Zoe lineup for any of the Runeterra competitive things. Yeah, we can only play one at a time. Yeah, I kind of like having found a champion that I really love. I kind of hope that we get like a sideboard best of 3 format for tournaments at some point too, because I would love to just take one of these Zoe decks and just like hammer it all day in an event. That sounds great. Like I'm pretty happy with where we ended up at, all things considered here. Feel like we landed on a good mix of stuff. A couple of details that I think are good to hammer home that maybe aren't super intuitive at first. The first is that I'm pretty confident Sharp Sight is much better than Pale Cascade in this deck. Having extra defense to protect Zoe is important, and because we're more controlling, having more tools to block elusives is really, really good. Any other conclusions? There was some discussion on Radiant Guardian versus the Daybreak 5/4, and I'm pretty confident Radiant Guardian is better in this deck. Like I mentioned in the set, I know Radiant Guardian can be awkward at certain times, but Grand Plaza mitigates a lot of the awkwardness associated with Radiant Guardian because it gives us way to kill our own things. Prismatic Zoe. Should we give her the foil treatment, chap? 5 and tough is really important too. She's sparkly. Now she's sparkly. All right, that's our first prismatic card. All right, at any rate, we're gonna go ahead and wrap on this one for the day. If you didn't see the whole set, it'll be up on YouTube later this evening. It'll probably be my highlight with some of the best games. Or someone asked me what my favorite Zoe deck has been. This one for mid-range control, and Zoe Fizz for aggro. So Zoe's lovely because she fits in so many different things.